O Z Y W O M B Podcast. I'm Shan.
I'm Aria.
Say Ari.
Abby.
Welcome to Cozy Womb Podcast. Let's go. Hey, this is Shan, mom of the girls. Thank you for checking in. If this is your first time at Cozy Womb Podcast, welcome. It's a very random but frequently posted show. Enjoy what you can when you can. It's for new parents. Y'all are very welcome. It's for second, third, or more time around parents too. And I did not forget those of you who aren't quite there yet, haven't had your first kid, but you're thinking about it and you're just curious on what it takes to go ahead and survive the kids that you may make. Cool. Since we're all here, let's get into today's episode. A lot of people have annoying kids, and they know it. Trust me. I'm a mom. I know when my kids are being super annoying. But for some reason, some parents keep bringing their annoying children, their rude children, to whatever function you're throwing. And they don't address their kids. They don't stop their kids. They don't pull their kids to the side. They just kind of like tune it out. A good person would leave their annoying offspring with a sitter, with a family member that's not going, or just check their kids as soon as they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing while at the function. But what if they don't? What if that parent just thinks, oh, they're just being a kid? There is a way to say, hey, I'm sorry, but I've been trying to deal with your kid and it's just not working. I don't know what to do. I just do not like your kid because they do not X, Y, and Z. Or I just cannot X, Y, and Z. Is there a better way to deal with them? Do you know? Or could you tell me? Or could you show me? Because I'm just out of options on how to deal with them. So what really pushed me to do this or talk about this is the fact that a lot of people who do not have kids are very confused on how you get your kids to act right. Or do I tell this person that I don't like their kids, or how do I say it? Let me be the first to tell you that there's a way to say everything. You can say, hey, your kid and I are not friends. Please do not leave them alone with me. Or, I can't manage your kid. Please take them with you when you go. Or, yo, from your best friend to you, and I'm saying this with love, what are you going to do about your kids' behavior? Because they are out of hand. What are you doing at home? What's working? Is their dad doing something different? Is their mom doing something different? Are you taking them to see someone about the behavior? Is there something that I can do to help the kids' behavior? Have you read up on anything? Honestly, come to your friend about their kid. Because if you don't, somebody else will. When they go to school, they're going to have an issue. Or you can say, hey, can you do something about your sweet baby's behavior? Because I just can't get them to listen. Sometimes, a parent does not care, and you just gotta uninvite them to shit or disengage. Unfortunately, people will break up with you because your kids just don't know how to act and you don't check them. Friends will avoid you because of your kids. So if you're interested in having friends, if you're interested in always being invited to the function or knowing what's going on or going out in groups, I suggest you address your kids. Nobody really wants to have to talk to your kids. So you do it. And if you know your child just does not listen, just always, throwing themselves out, having tantrums in public, you need to see someone about your child's behavior. You need to explore better ways to go ahead and discipline your child. You need to figure out what's not working, how you can make something work. Talk to other parents, talk to teachers, talk to counselors. Take your child to therapy. If they've seen some type of traumatic event in your life, okay, understandable. Life happens, but you still have to address what's not working. You can't just take your child places and expect everybody to deal with it. Everybody does not want to, quote unquote, deal with your kid. People want to be somewhere, enjoying their meal, enjoying their movie, enjoying their festivities, enjoying their barbecue, enjoying other people, and not have to deal with your child screaming at the top of their lungs because they're, quote unquote, not getting what they want. Or deal with your child throwing toys across the room and breaking your furniture in your house, and you just say, they're just a kid. Oh, I'll replace that. Maybe it's something that cannot be replaced. Maybe your child is always coming to my house breaking things. Maybe your child just does not listen. Maybe he's just a kid is wrong. Kids do what they do when you allow them to. Kids say what they say when you allow them to say it. You have to nip it in the bud. And you do not want to be that friend or that associate that texts, hey, I really want you to come out to this function, but please don't bring any kids. It's not a kid-friendly thing. Don't text it. Or don't text, hey, I don't know what to do, but I don't know how to deal with your kid, or I don't really like your kid, because it's going to be interpreted the wrong way. Do not text the issue. It can be interpreted the wrong way. Sometimes parents cannot handle criticism or honesty, but it's a choice to put up with another person's unruly kids or not. And you deserve to make that decision. You don't have to deal with another person's rude kids. Some parents are in blatant denial. They know it. They don't want anybody to point it out. They don't want anybody to say anything to them. They want you to ignore it. But if you get to a point where you got to deal with this child every week, or your kid has to deal with this child and they to the point where they don't want to come out their room because such and such is coming over, then hey, please say it. Please say it. You don't want your family to be like, oh, they're coming, I'm not coming. You don't want your other friends to be like, oh, she's coming and she's bringing her son, or she's bringing her daughter. Oh, I'm not coming. Call me when she leaves. You don't want that. That's the most annoying thing, to have to filter different friends when you're having a big event. I hate having to do that. Do not feel guilty for addressing bad behavior as a mom of 2 girls. I want someone to tell me when my child is acting out. My close friends, when we go out to functions with the kids, and I have friends that don't have kids that go out with me, places with the girls, and I have friends that have kids that go out with me with the girls. When they see Anya acting up, they pull her to the side and they check her if I can't check her fast enough. If they see Arya acting up, they pull her to the side and they check her if I can't check her fast enough. Those are friends. Now, if you have a friend that's not quite familiar with your kid, and you see them going in their stuff, or you see them stepping on their shoes, or you see them grabbing on them in conversation, you need to stop talking, say excuse me, and address your child. Sometimes people say, oh no, they're okay, just to be nice. Sometimes your child is invading their personal space. Check your kid, because if you don't, then your kid is going to think it's okay to be all up on somebody when you're standing in line, or to be all in their bag or all in their cart. You know what I'm saying? And never discipline another person's child with your hands or objects unless you were verbally given the okay. That is never okay for you to put your hands on someone else's kid. Now, like today, I went into Five and Below, and Arya was like walking a little bit behind me, but I could see her. And Anya was in front of me, and this lady was pregnant, but she had a kid in the car, and she pushed her in between us. But she wasn't paying attention to the fact that Arya was shorter than the car, and she was walking in. I said, hey! And she was looking at me like, why are you saying hey? And I pointed to Ari so she could see, and she was like, oh, I didn't even see her. And I'm just like, girl, I know. That's why I had to make my own horn verbally while walking. You just have to be aware of other people's children. You have to be aware of where your children are, and if it comes to a point where that child is going to throw something and it might hit your child, then you can go ahead and alert. You could go ahead and step in. If your child is going to get bit or hit from another kid because they're acting out, it's okay to guard your child. But I'm not saying hit another person's child. I'm not saying pull another person's child. I'm not saying grab another person's child, because that's a whole nother issue. But there's a way to say, hey, I'm not comfortable with your child because they do X, Y, and Z, or they act out, or I just don't know how to handle them, and their behavior is just something I'm not used to. Is there a way where you can still come but have someone watch the kid? I know a babysitter. Here's a good babysitter. That's just something you can do. There's always a way to tell somebody, hey, your kid is out of hand. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be nasty. And parents, if somebody takes the time to find a nice way to say, hey, your kid is out of hand, don't be mean. Don't be all dramatic. Just be like, hey, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it, and I apologize about the way that they acted at X, Y, and Z. See? We can all get along. If you have kids, if you don't have kids, we can all get along, okay? We want these kids to be happy, and we want these parents to be sane. We on the same team. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for still listening. Got any advice or just want to ask anything? You can reach me on IG at Cozy Womb Mama or at whoisshan.com, or you can email me at cozywombmama@gmail.com. Thanks.